coming to you live from Ward 53 in Soweto, Impala Road, Green Village, Lufering. The community has shut Impala Road down. The 20th of March, the revolution has begun.
Monday, the 20th of March will be an important day for the country. The EFF's call for a national shutdown will serve as a referendum on how we want the country to move forward.
On the 20th of March, on Monday, where's Nadir is going to be like, no one will drive here, no one will go to school, no work.
The EFF is gaslighting South Africa. They know very well that the electricity cannot be turned back on because they demand it. There isn't any electricity to turn on.
We demand that Ramaphosa should resign with immediate effect and that electricity should be restored as well with immediate effect.
The national shutdown has nothing to do with helping the people of South Africa. This is just an opportunity to do what they do best, cause havoc. It is a shameless publicity stunt by a party that doesn't care about the damage they cause to others, as long as it can win them a few votes. On Monday, we are not voting on whether the president should resign or if load shedding should end. These are not issues that a protest can decide. No, the 20th of March will be a referendum on whether South Africa should be a law-abiding, democratic nation or a lawless banana republic.
There will be no school, there will be no university, there will be no factory, there will be no bus, no taxi, unless they are taking protesters to the picket lines. There will be no truck to Richards Bay. There will be no train to Richards Bay. There will be no big roads that will be operating on the 20th of March unless it's emergency services. And we are not threatened by any security because we do this peacefully. It's our right. And if they want to come and violate our rights, they will find us ready.
The EFF leader is invoking the Constitution to give himself unconstitutional rights. Yes, the Constitution allows you to protest, but legally, and without infringing on the rights of others. So, it does not allow you to close businesses, block roads, stop exports, close schools, close airports, or interfere in the activities of any other citizen.
So where exactly did you hear them say that they will, for example, be damaging property and prohibiting businesses from operating on the day of the 20th? When exactly did you hear them and what exactly did they say?
We have given ministers 7 days to close schools. Failure to do so, we have to do it ourselves as EFF members. Only 2 days have left. So come Monday, we don't want to see any kid wearing a school uniform. Weigh it at your own risk.
Well, the EFF leader himself just yesterday was on the radio calling on all businesses to close down. The EFF have been visiting businesses around the country, telling them that if they don't close, they're going to be looted. They even served a notice on OR Tambo International Airport saying that if they don't shut down the airport on the day, there are going to be consequences.
There will be no school, there will be no university, there will be no factory, there will be no bus, no taxi.
There's loud hailing taking place in a variety of communities, and all of these obviously being sent through to public representatives by very worried citizens who are petrified that this is going to be a spark that sees what happened in KwaZulu-Natal in July turning into something that takes place at a national level.
What the EFF is calling for is not a protest. As a great South African, our former public protector, Advocate Madansila said, "It is the right of any person or group to withdraw its labor power or engage in public protest to make a point, but no one has a right to force others to join in such protest, and doing so is a violation of the law, the Constitution, and human rights. Furthermore, in so exercising their rights and freedoms, no person or group has a right to prevent others from exercising their rights and freedoms." But the EFF has made it clear that they do not care about the law. They are trying to convince people that the right to protest gives them the right to do anything they want. Even though the EFF has publicly stated its intention to break the law and violate the rights of other South Africans, the government and the Minister of Police have remained silent. It was left to the DA to challenge the EFF and take legal action against their illegal tactics.
I can today announce that the Democratic Alliance will be taking preemptive action against the threats by the economic freedom fighters of widespread looting and intimidation in relation to their 20th of March proposed national shutdown. The right to demonstrate peacefully is enshrined in our Constitution, but it is also clear that that right has to be exercised with due regard for all other citizens and has to be within the law. The recent attempts by the EFF to threaten, intimidate and coerce business owners into shutting their businesses, schools to being closed, and the threats to the infrastructure, both public and private in South Africa, cannot go unchecked.
However, people are attempting to distort what is happening by suggesting that the DA is trying to infringe on the EFF's right to protest. People are attempting to twist the narrative and change the conversation from right or wrong to black and white. Once again, race baiters have turned this into a black versus white situation. Let's look at this tweet from the South African Natives Forum. We had no intentions of joining the shutdown, but since DA couldn't hide their colonial racist tendencies, we have taken a decision, and we will be joining National Shutdown. We encourage all native South Africans to make this one sacrifice. How do you conclude that wanting to protect the rights of all South Africans and stop violent and illegal behavior demonstrates colonial racist tendencies?
We're obviously deeply concerned by the intimidatory tactics that are being employed by members of the economic freedom fighters who are threatening serious consequences for any business that dares to open and trade on the day, and for any adult or child who dares to go to work or school on that day.
The answer is, you don't. You manipulate people into thinking this is a racial issue when you know perfectly well that it is not. Using race is the cheapest trick politicians have, and so they keep using it. People keep falling for it, even to their detriment. Firstly, the DA is not challenging the EFF's right to protest.
For that reason, the Democratic Alliance will be approaching the courts of South Africa to seek an interdict against the economic freedom fighters, not against their march, but to ensure that they abide by all municipal regulations and all laws relating to marches.
Well, I think that you must differentiate the right to protest and then the duty to behave within the law and act lawfully at all times.
The DA themselves have protested the way the electricity crisis has been handled. The difference is that their protest was legal and peaceful and did not infringe on the rights of other citizens.
So yes, we did march to Lutuli House. Not a single business closed along the route. Not a single business was looted. Nobody was assaulted, and nor did we compel any of the businesses that were along the route to join in on the march by force or by threat.
The DA is challenging the EFF's illegal threats and their intention to break the law, not their right to protest.
So the right to protest is enshrined in our Constitution, and everybody has that right, including the EFF. But they have to also have a duty to do it peacefully and in a way that doesn't hinder people who don't want to be part of the march on the day.
The question EFF supporters should be asking themselves is who truly has our best interests at heart? The EFF shutdown will devastate the economy, jobs, and law and order. Still, it will not achieve anything concerning the electricity crisis. In other words, it will harm black people while doing nothing to help them. The DA is trying to preserve jobs, the economy, and the lives of South Africans. So who is really the enemy here? On Monday, you can take part in shutting down the country and signal your intent to live in a lawless banana republic. Or you can decide to reject the intimidation and race baiting and stand up for what South Africa can be. A law-abiding, democratic nation that respects the rights of all its citizens. If you want to know more about what is happening in the world, check out our sponsor's book, The Ministry of Truth, by Ethan Quinn. This book explains how identity politics is used to manipulate society. Please support this channel by liking and subscribing.